April 1912, lower deck, RMS Titanic. They called it unsinkable, but to me, it already floated like a dream. My bunk is near the boilers, 4 high. I sleep on the bottom, where the air is thick with sweat and iron and salt, but the floor hums when the ship breathes, and that is how I know it is alive. They say this ship is a marvel, bigger than any building I've ever seen, with staircases made of gold and food too fine to spell. But down here, we marvel at simpler things. A working faucet, a clean blanket, the rhythm of an engine that hasn't stopped yet. I came aboard with a violin and a name no one here can pronounce, but music needs no translation. Some nights, when the men are too tired to talk, I play. Nothing fancy, just the songs my mother used to hum while kneading bread, the kind that make you feel like your feet are still on earth, even if the water's 1,000 feet below. One woman cried last night when I played. Not loudly, just a quiet stream that never touched her cheeks. She said nothing, only nodded, like I'd reminded her of someone she wasn't allowed to speak of. There are whispers that first class has electric lifts and squash courts and carpets so thick your shoes disappear. But I've only seen that world through a crack in the door. Yesterday, I crept up to the promenade and watched a lady in feathers feed crumbs to the wind. She didn't see me. None of them do. But I saw her. I saw how carefully she held her teacup. I saw the man beside her pretend to laugh, even though he looked tired. I saw their shoes, polished so clean you could mistake them for mirrors. And in that moment, I didn't envy them. I just wondered if anyone had ever played them a song from home. I met a boy from Belfast in the stairwell. He showed me how to knot my laces tighter so they don't fray. Said he'd worked on the ship while it was being built, and now he was sailing to see what it became. He asked if I was scared to cross the ocean. I told him I was scared of staying where I was. At night, when the ship quiets, when even the engines feel like they're holding their breath, I lie awake and listen to the creak of steel, to footsteps far above, to the hush of voices in a dozen languages, all saying the same prayers in different tongues. We are all trying to remember what it feels like to belong. The violin sleeps next to me. I wrap it in cloth so the strings don't freeze. It's not valuable. It's not even tuned right. But it holds stories my mouth doesn't know how to tell. Once, I tried playing on the open deck. Just once. A man in a wool coat passed by and dropped a coin into my case without looking. But then, a little girl in a white ribbon stopped. She stared, and then she danced. Right there, in her boots and curls and sugar smile. Her mother called to her, but for 10 seconds, she was mine. And in those 10 seconds, I believed we might all make it. This morning, fog rolled in like a curtain being drawn. I heard someone say it was a bad sign, but I thought it was beautiful. The way the sky erased the sea, the way sound traveled farther when sight could not, as if the ship were floating through memory instead of water. There's a man who reads aloud from a paper every evening. He adds words in places, like he's rewriting the world a little at a time. I asked him once if he believed all the stories they print. He laughed and said, "I believe in stories more than I believe in truth." And I think I understand what he meant, because down here, we don't have chandeliers or caviar. We have stories, and sometimes that's enough. We've been at sea 4 days now, and though I know this ship is destined for something else, though I feel it in my chest like a missed heartbeat, I don't want to forget this. Not the laughter between bunks, not the steam that warms our faces before roll call, not the girl who danced because no one told her not to, not the music I played with shaking hands while pretending I wasn't afraid. If this ship sinks, I want to remember that I once made strangers smile. The once we were all between places, not quite who we were, not yet who we'd become, but together, in a moment that floated like a dream. And maybe that is what hope really is. Not a destination, but the sound of a song playing in a place no one expects to hear it, and someone listening.